Hey y'all, welcome back to Pure South Pastures. Thank you for joining me today. Happy 4th of July. First of all, I can't believe it's July 4th as far as this part of the year. It's just this year has flown by. But so grateful to be able to be here and doing this, to worship God freely, to live in the land that we live in, and I'll get into that more later. But just wanted to tell everybody happy 4th of July. Talk about what we're doing here on the farm. And hopefully you're having a great day today. So thanks for hanging out with me. Let's get to it. It's a steamy 4th of July morning. Actually, the temperature is not bad here in central Arkansas, but the humidity is ridiculous. Let me show you this calf up here. Got a little skin issue. I want to be a channel that shows you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think there are channels out there that all they want to show is the good, act like they never have any problems. But if you have a farm, if you have animals, you're going to have problems. And look at this little guy right here. He's doing a whole lot better now that, I don't know if you can tell the skin issue that he has. It was real red and irritated, and now you can see he's actually starting, it looks like he's starting to put back a little hair on it. So that's something that at first I was concerned about. You know, he's doing a lot better. The places that were raw and really, really red seem to be going away and filling back in with hair. So thankful for that. Sometimes, and I'm not saying you should be less than diligent with your animals, but sometimes, you know, we can mess around and try to fix everything that happens to these animals and you know, get them up and put a shot in them and do all these things. And there is definitely a time for that. There's definitely a time to get the vet on the premises. But the reality is, sometimes if you just watch something, make sure it's not getting worse. The Lord has a way of allowing nature to take care of its own. And so I'll watch this one and its mom. I really don't know what that came from. Friend said possibly, I think his vet told him possibly bacterial infection, some kind of, obviously some kind of skin issue. But yeah, we'll keep watch on it. Seems like he's doing a lot better, and that definitely would be something that we wouldn't, and I really don't plan on any of the bulls that I have, any of the young bulls I have, keeping them for breeding stock or even selling them as breeding stock. But that's definitely a concern. When something like that happens, I would never sell that animal as breeding stock. So I only have one bull that shows, little bull calf that shows much promise this year. So we'll keep a watch on him. I really don't think, I think we'll probably either go ahead and band them or just sell them as intact animals for beef. We'll see. We want to keep our options open. That's one of the reasons that we don't band until a year old, because it just gives you the ability to watch and see if they're going to show much potential. The cattle, you can see right here where I'm standing is kind of a patch of goat weed, woolly croton. Always a big issue here in Arkansas. Has the ability to take over an area. I mean, if you just let this, without coming back and clipping this, if you just let this grow, it'll shade out everything under it right here and produce seed, and it just gets worse and worse every year. So our way we do it is to clip. So this little heifer's coming up here. She's wanting some attention. This time of year is stressful. In the heat of the day, it's stressful on these animals. They got fly pressure, which we're doing pretty good with flies. You can see there's not a whole lot of flies on this animal. She's a little hairier than I want. A lot of them are slicking off. Look at her. She was licking the monopod. That's funny. But all right, you're being a nuisance now. Go on. So anyway, what I was saying is, this time of year is stressful. You know, the cows are looking for a place to find some shade in the heat of the day. To be 94 today with, you know, high humidity. And so in the heat of the day, you find these animals shaded up, and it's just hot. And so they're not here in Central Arkansas this time of year. I'm not saying they're not going to be putting on weight, but on marginal forage like this, I'll talk about that in just a minute. In the heat like we're in, it's like it accelerates any problems that they have, or maybe it just brings them to light. I saw a cow over here a minute ago with a droopy jawline. It wasn't like a hard deal, but it was just, and she's a healthy animal by and large. She's always producing a good calf. There she is right there. But I see that she's got some fluid on her jaw. And so I'll watch that and just, that could be a lot of things. Could be a sign of parasites. Could be a sign of, I think maybe hardware disease. I don't know. As long as she's got her neck extended, it doesn't accentuate as much. But I saw it when she was walking down here a minute ago. So this forage, giving them a really big area today. Probably this may be for today and tomorrow. One of the reasons is because of this patch of trees right here. They've been over here and they've been shading up with that tree there, and there's a few limbs going out over there. But I just don't like leaving them in the same area for shade for multiple days, like 3, 4, 5 days in a row, because it just gets so nasty. Just spending the whole day there's just piles of manure and urine, and it just gets a lot nastier than I want. So I moved them into this paddock, and it's larger than we would normally give. I'll give a little more time here, mostly because of these trees. They found a down limb over there. They're going to rub on it and rub the flies. I hope they don't pull it off the tree. Anyway, so yeah, this forage, and I'll show you where they grazed yesterday. This is a broomsedge field. What do you do with broomsedge? That's a good question. You can lime it, and that would help, I'm sure. You can fertilize it, and I'm sure that'll help. You do a lot to progress your pastures along, but we're trying to do this with minimal inputs, and I'm not against somebody doing it with inputs. And probably if I was in a different place in the stage of this farm, I might do some lime on this property. I'm not against that. But right now, we're growing, building, and we're trying to do it in the most economical way until, just until things are looking a little bit different on the bottom line. So this is where we came. You can see the line right here. This is where we came from. And there's a lot of different forages left in here. But for the most part, they've picked around the broomsedge, and they've eaten a lot of it too, and eaten stuff down in there. So what I'll do now is come back, and I've already done a lot of mowing up here. So I'll come back and clip these pastures so that the broomsedge and the goat weed and things like that, they're not standing tall over all this other stuff that they grazed down, like right down in there. So you can see they grazed in between. So that's our solution for what to do with broomsedge. What do you do? A lot of things you could do. You got a lot of options. So just looking across here, you would think, it just looks like it's a whole lot of broomsedge, but you can see the seed heads. I'm seeing Dallas grass. This is a really big Bahia seed head. I see some old brown fescue seed heads down in here. And then this is Lespedeza. This is a Japanese Lespedeza down in here, and they will come in and just take that Lespedeza because it's a legume. It's has a protein level in it that's great, and so they'll get down there and they'll take all that to the ground. You can see that in the paddocks that we've passed behind us. I see some Johnson grass out there. You can see all of that stuff is the beloved or hated dog fennel. The cows will get in there and rub around on that. I think because it smells so strong, they rub on it because of the flies on their side, and then I don't know, but we'll mow all that down. There's a lot of it behind us where we mowed, and this little draw here, this little creek bottom's got a lot of fescue along it. That's pretty nice. And then there's some sedges in here, some nut sedge looks like, and some water grasses. This is a low right down in here. Look at that calf in there. Man, I hope that limb don't fall. Oh, that's not a calf, that's a mom. I didn't realize that was down here. Actually, we've had a lot of storms. We've been cleaning up a lot of limbs. Ooh, this is something that on this farm we just don't see a lot of, so that's exciting. You got some clover down in there. This grass looks so good. I mean, this looks like it would just be the best grass in the world, and cows will eat it if they're forced to, but they don't care for it. It's I think it's called, I know it's carpet grass, but I think they call it broadleaf carpet grass or wide leaf carpet grass. Anyway, it looks like it'd be just the best forage in the world because there's a lot of it, but they don't care for it too much. So anyway, all kinds of grasses, legumes. There's some clover. I love that. And you can see the cattle are belly deep in it. They go straight to the Johnson grass over there. And I'm thankful people cuss Johnson grass. Neighbors get mad about it. Not here, but I've heard of situations where neighbors were frustrated because somebody didn't spray their Johnson grass, which is crazy to me that people feel like they have the right to tell you what you're gonna spray and not spray on your own property. I understand seeds carry, but that still is just I think we live in a crazy world. But yeah, beautiful. Got shade down here, lots of grass. This is a paddock that even in the heat of the summertime, they can gain weight on. So we're moving across this property pretty quick. We'll come in here and mow. We still got a lot ahead of us. So yeah, you know, we really need to get off of this farm. We're grazing it faster than normal because we need to get off this farm so that we can get back up to the area by the house where we grazed previously this summer. It's ready to regraze, and I don't need to let it get too far along with this Bahia Bermuda grass because it gets too stemmy. And so you have to graze it faster than you do. You have to regraze it faster than you do a cool season. These warm seasons are a lot more fibrous. And if they get too far ahead of you, the quality just tanks really fast as far as nutritional value. So I've got to get back up there. So we're grazing this faster than normal, but it's okay. You can see these cows right here. This she's in a big old patch of Johnson grass and just wearing it out. I love that. Yeah. See the sheep over there on the hill. Knox is with them. A little update on Knox. He's doing a little better as far as staying with the sheep. I don't know. My wife keeps saying, if you have, this is the tension. She keeps saying, if you haven't had an issue with the sheep, like you haven't had a predator attack, how do you know he's not protecting them just because he's not always staying right with them? I get that, but my preference would be that he would stay. That he would stay as a livestock guardian dog. That he would be with the animals, right? And that that I would have peace of mind if he wasn't hanging out somewhere else. And part of that might be just that he has truly kept predators away to the point that he's bored. You know, that really might be the issue. So I'm thinking about adding another dog just as a backup. My concern with that, and maybe somebody can speak to this, drop in the comments, but my concern with that is if Knox has bad habits, is he going to teach a younger dog that I bring on the farm bad habits? So that's where I'm kind of catch-22. One of the things that does excite me is there's a lot of goat weed here, which I'm not majorly concerned about. There's a lot of broomsedge here. There's a lot of this carpet grass. But just the biomass that's here, just the height of this grass is so remarkably different than last year. This ridge right here was bald last year. Wait, that's a different cow that I thought was had that water jaw. That's a new heifer. Or, I'm sorry, that's a new mom, first calf heifer. I heard Brett a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, at Addison Ranch talking about how these heifers having their first calf. You know, the animal, the mom is still growing. She's having this calf. She's feeding this calf, and they just, you know, it's a lot going on for them all at once. And so sometimes their condition can suffer, and you see she's having an issue there with something. Not sure. Definitely keep an eye on her. I thought it was her mom. They look similar. Obviously, she's a lot bigger. I was looking at her a minute ago. She's the one that came down the hill with that big flappy jaw. Again, some people wouldn't show you this, but I just want to see what's going on here. Hey, raise your head up, girl. This is a super sweet cow. Maybe a parasite issue. I don't see where it looks like she's been snake bit. She sure ain't slowing down eating. That's one of the main things. Watching her appetite, making sure she doesn't go backwards. You can see she laid in some manure last night or something. The fly issue. We talked about flies on the last video, sea salt treatment, and we have flies. It's 121 here. She's got more flies than I would like. But by and large, or you know, over the whole herd, it's really not a huge deal. There's Knox and the sheep up by that old barn. He's out standing guard. It's a beautiful morning. As you can see, the sun's coming up. It'll be a hot one. Got to get over here and feed the pigs. Make sure everybody's doing good. I'm gonna go get a load of watermelons for them. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining me here on Pure South Pastures. If you don't mind, hit the like, subscribe, share it with somebody that it might be a blessing to. Hope you have a great 4th of July. We'll see you on the next one.